Hey guys, and welcome to the Lazy Lemon Creations podcast. My name is Lindsay. You can find me on Instagram as Lazy Lemon Creations, and you can find me on Ravelry as Lazy Lemon. This is my podcast all about the knitting, crochet, cross-stitch, diamond painting, whatever sort of crafty craft that I get into. I like to talk about it, and I live in the heart of the New River Valley with my husband and our 2 kids. It is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024, and it is 10 o'clock at night. So hopefully we won't have any interruptions this week like we did last week, but if so, I can edit it. Everything I talk about, links to shops where you can purchase things, if you want to support the podcast with the Ko-Fi, all sorts of links will be down below in the description. And let's go ahead and jump into it. So let's go ahead and start with an FO. I will also be talking about my April stats on this episode as well, since we are now into May. But let's start with our FO. And the first one that I have here, the only one that I have here, is my Vengeance socks. I'll hold those up. There we go. There we go. That's how we can do it. This is a Leading Men Fiber Arts colorway. I have the tag somewhere. Here it is. Sorry. Leading Men Fiber Arts in the Show Stealer colorway Vengeance. It's a fingering weight yarn. What is it? It's an 80-10-10. Ooh, I didn't even realize it had cashmere in it, but it does. That's why it's so soft. The last time I podcasted, I was right here on the first sock. That is a Book Progress Keeper from Twin Mountain Handcrafts. That was the first sock, and then I did the whole second sock. These are a gift. These are for a friend who moved from Montana, now lives in Virginia. So I have those socks for her. I don't need these anymore, so I'm going to put them back here where they belong. Okay. And she picked out the colorway, and I was able to knit these up fairly slowly, actually. Just a second. Here we go. I got my notebooks on my monthly stats. My lemon notebook that says squeeze the day, because you can't not have a lemon notebook if that's your name. So these socks that I finished, I started them on April 17th and I finished them May 7th. So almost an entire month it took to knit those socks, but I knew I had time, and so I was in no hurry to get those done. And I do have enough yarn to make a second pair for her. She has a small foot, so I will be able to make a second pair for her out of the leftover yarn. These socks only took 56 grams, and so for the second pair, I'm going to do contrast cuffs, just so that I can make sure the yarn stretches, but I have 55 grams left in the cake. So I have 55 grams left of this, so I figure with some contrast cuffs, I will have plenty in order to do a whole nother pair of socks for her. So I'm pretty excited for those. They were knit on Magic Loop, which is, I use a Chalgu red lace needle. It is a 1.5, which is a 2.5 millimeter. I always feel like I'm saying that word wrong, even though I'm not, but millimeter sounds weird to me if I say it too fast. But that's my one and only FO for this week. So I was working on them this morning and trying to finish the toe, and you know how when you're working on the toe and you alternate a decrease round and a knit round, I was completely forgetting to alternate, and I was rapidly decreasing, and my toe came out to a triangle very, very fast, and I was like, this doesn't look right. So I had to do the toe over because I kept rapidly decreasing instead of alternating. But the socks are done. The socks are done. Let's see here. The next thing that I have been working on, well, the easiest thing to show next, let me rephrase that, is my diamond painting. I got this diamond painting from my husband. It was either birthday or Christmas, which they're only a week apart, so it's hard to tell. I did a couple more rows. I had finished out the dark green or black color. I'm not really sure. And I'm getting ready to start a lot of blue down here. And so I had added a few more rows right in here and then down along this side to this diamond painting. Not enough to probably show progress, but I did work on it, so I wanted to show it. And these I got from Amazon, the Tiny Fun diamond painting kits. It'll look like that little picture way up there. I mean, you can see the picture, like you know what it looks like, but the diamonds add a sort of sparkle to it. So I've been working on that a little bit, just kind of sitting here at the table, being able to craft and just kind of decompress, just have some stress-free moments, which, you know, come rare. But yeah, that's just been some little diamond painting that I've done. The other whip that I have, hold on a second, I've got to pick it up, is my blanket for my sister. Well, actually it's for my niece, but my sister's having the baby, so it's for my sister. It is my pink gingham blanket. I have not woven in the ends from the squares that I have attached since the last podcast episode. So let me explain that. When I originally had started it, I had done 7 squares across, which had ended right here at this hot pink square. And I had done 5 rows in, I want to say. And I had decided that each individual block is an 8x8 square of corner to corner stitch that is crochet. And I didn't like the idea of leaving it off at 7. So I did the 8th row. I had already had this one done by the last episode, but what I have added since then, I have added 1, 2, 3, 4. I've added those 4 rows so that across and all the rows that I had already completed are all even. Those are my ends. I have not woven them in yet. I've just completed their attachments, so I'll get to it when I can. And then I have added 3 more squares. Those 3 right there. I have added those 3 squares since my last episode. So those 7. In the past 2 weeks, I am crocheting with a Susan Bates US-H hook, which is an 8, size 8, 5mm hook. But that's the hook that I'm using for this project. I have until June 1st to finish this blanket because that's when the baby shower is. So technically I have until May 31st to finish this blanket before I go. Hold on. Correcting my notes here that I had done 7 squares, not 6. And the baby shower is that Saturday, so I will be making 2 trips to West Virginia this month. I'll be making a trip later this week for my sister's birthday, the one who's pregnant, and for Mother's Day, for like a Mother's Day dinner that we're gonna do on Friday, and then I'll be going at the end of the month as well. So quite a few trips to West Virginia on the horizon. But those are my only 2 whips that I have. Let's get into some April stats. Oh, I did want to say I did weigh the yarn, and each individual square takes me 21 grams to crochet. So I'm gonna round it down to 20 just for the easy math of it, and then I'll go back and add the 1 gram later at the end. But so far, that just means in the past 2 weeks, I've knit 140 grams. I have crocheted 140 grams into that blanket. But I'm not going to count that as grams out until the blanket is actually finished. So those numbers are not reflected in my April stats. They will be reflected in my May stats once I finish the blanket in just a few days, a few weeks, hopefully days. We'll see. But let's get into those stats, shall we? Because they're sad. I also have some yarn to show off, and you'll understand why those stats are so sad. So, I don't believe it was the last episode I showed. I believe it was the episode prior, so 2 episodes ago. I had shown some of the Red Heart Granny Square yarn that I had obtained in the month of April. And then I had also obtained some Freckled Whimsy yarn that I did not show on my last episode. So let's talk about that. For April of 2024, my grams in was 1,945 grams. Oops. And my grams out was 112. I literally just did 2 pairs of socks in April. I did pick up 2 blankets, a muscle burrow, and 2 pairs of socks that are all in random states of progress, but I only finished 2 socks in the month of April. So that's where I stand for my April stats. And part of that 1,000 grams, almost 2,000 grams, is some Freckled Whimsy yarn. So I'm going to show the 2 that I got that were ready to ship yarns. I apologize if I have already shown this yarn 2 episodes ago, but it's yarn, so why not see it again? Who cares? So the first thing I got, so none of this is spoilers because it was all ready to ship. It would have been part of a club or something from previous months or even previous years, so it shouldn't be a spoiler to anyone, but everything is Freckled Whimsy, just an FYI. So the first thing I had gotten is this. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at those purples and browns, blacks, grays all mixed together. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so beautiful. This is her Magical Mischief club. I think that's a Harry Potter. Yep, it's a Harry Potter Year 4 club. And the colorway name is There's a Boggart in My Wardrobe. It is a 6-stripe repeat, and it was April 2024 colorway. So I don't know if that label being holographic like it is going to show up properly. Maybe if I squeeze it into correctness. Anyway, but yeah, this was a ready to ship. Purple is my husband's favorite color, but these will not be for him. He does not do hand knit socks. He works in a lab testing a lot of chemicals, and he used to work on the production side, and he would sweat through his socks so bad that I swore to him I was never hand knitting him socks because he would go through some socks. So he's very appreciative of hand knits, but he's not one to be like, oh my gosh, I want hand knit socks. So I don't make it for him. I'd rather make them for myself, but these will be for me, especially because they're Harry Potter. I love the Harry Potter series. So I am very excited to cast these on. These will be one of my summer sock camp colors because I really am going to work on the second pair of Vengeance socks and my scrappy socks that I have somewhere until summer sock camp. And then once summer sock camp hits, I'm diving straight in. And I know Kay has said that whips are allowed for summer sock camp, which is a big relief. So I could technically get these socks started, but I like the idea of the week leading up to camp of having like a big old, I wouldn't say cast on party, but like a winding party. I think that would be really, really cool. Like the Monday before is to wind up like 6 or 7 skeins of yarn that I want to use throughout the year, throughout camp. And then I can go ahead and start casting them on because camp starts on Friday, the 24th of May. And so it would be okay if I already casted them on, but I like starting camp fresh. But I'm excited. The next thing that I am 100% casting on for camp, this might be first. It probably is going to be first. No, I've got one more on the way too. There's so many options to choose from. Kay has done an amazing job with camp this year of picking the theme. It's like the 80s and 90s vibes to it, and so it's the bright neon colors, some tie-dye, Lisa Frank, Saved by the Bell, like just that theme to it. Taco Bell. Think back to the 90s Taco Bell if you can. And so with all of those vibes, this yarn might be the start. I'll tell you about the second contender as well. So this is also Freckled Whimsy in her Serendipity base. That's my favorite base because it's the 75-25 that she has. And this colorway is It's My Party. It is an 8-stripe repeat. And look at those colors. I am so excited. So excited to use this. So this might be first because of its colors, but the other thing that I got that is supposed to arrive tomorrow, it's floating around Instagram like crazy. It's from Mama Jess Knits. She dyed up Frankly Lisa, and it is Lisa Frank inspired. It is neon bright, and I love it so much, so I pre-ordered it, and mine should be here, like I said, tomorrow. And Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady has knitted up Lisa of 72 Stitches, the Knit All the Yarn podcast. She has it as well. And so I really want to use that as well for Summer Sock Camp because I think it's on theme. And I don't know which one of those is going to be my start. But like I said, if I do a winding party and then do a cast on party, then it's not going to matter. I can cast them both on because whips are allowed this year. So I might just do that. Then my third thing that I got, those two, the Harry Potter Yarn Club and the It's My Party, those were ready to ship, already dyed yarns. This next one that I'm going to show you is my Halloween Club that I got from Freckled Whimsy. Currently, it is going to be a 6-month club from now until Halloween, based on, I guess, many factors, but I would assume popularity, demand, dyeing ability, and the want. This might continue on past Halloween, I'm not sure. So this is the Freckled Whimsy Halloween Club for 2024. This is the first month. It's May. And it is halfway to Haunts. Oh my gosh, look at it. Oh, I am so in love with this. It's also a 75-25, and she has actually changed her minis. This mini, all the purple yarn, this mini is a 20-gram mini that's included with my Harry Potter Club. This one for the Halloween is a 25-gram mini. So I'm very excited because that is more than enough to make alternating heels and toes. Nope. Cuffs and toes. It does not bother me to break up striping yarn for a heel flap and gusset. I've done it with Felici and stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. Now, I might for Freckled Whimsy. I don't know. So I might do heels and toes then and leave my cuff with all the self-striping because I could do that. And then that way it wouldn't disrupt the stripes. I don't know. I'm so conflicted because it doesn't bother me to wear them or anything like that, but the cohesiveness, the way it looks, I do like that. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, those were my purchases that I have made, and when Frankly Lisa shows up, I will have it on the podcast as well. So then that's it for the yarny stuff. So the next thing to talk about is just life, which now that we're in May, this is the last month of school for my kids. My daughter goes until the 31st. My son goes until the 22nd. My daughter has a half a day on Thursday the 30th and a half a day on Friday the 31st, which I think is ridiculous, but it's what the school decided to do, and they will probably be fun field day type sort of activities. So she'll enjoy it, but it is what it is. I'm getting tired tonight. So for reading and watching, I am still watching Law & Order, SVU. I am on season 11, I think. I'm on season 11. I'm not sure. But I've been powering through that because when my kids are gone or late at night, I will turn it on and it'll just be background noise because I've seen a lot of the episodes, but I haven't seen them all the way through. So I will turn it on and just knit as I go about, or crochet since I'm making that blanket. And so yeah, I'm on season 11 of Law & Order with Detective Stabler and Benson. And then I am still reading the Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks. I have finished book 2 and I'm in book 3, but I think I'm going to stop. And here's why. I'm at a really good point to stop book 3 and be able to like pick it up later and like restart it. I'm not that far in. And start it later because I really miss watching the Fantasy Fangirls podcast. And right now they're into ACOTAR. Well, right now they're into ACOMAF, which is A Court of Mist and Fury. And I really want to read ACOTAR. And my husband told me that it's okay, that I can pause the series and come back to it because it's completed. We know that those 5 books are the 5 books. The series isn't going anywhere. We will always have it. It's okay if I want to take a break and treat it as if I'm waiting for a new release or something, you know? So that I can read the ACOTAR series. But here's where I'm in a dilemma. May 15th to May 20th is a big Amazon book sale that they're doing. Kindle sales, physical book sales. Hold on. Felt like there was a hair on my lip. Big sale. Big sale. So I have a whole bunch of books that I have in a private list so that when this sale hits, I can see what sort of discount is applied to each individual book. It is really cheap right now if I wanted to buy the entire ACOTAR series for the Kindle. I think it's under $50 for all 5 books. I want to say it was like $40 for all 5 books. I think it's like $42. So I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to spend that money on the ACOTAR series and have it on my Kindle. I do have the physical books, I know, but I'm a Kindle reader. I really like reading on my Kindle, especially when I'm around my kids, because if I set my Kindle down and I close it and I go to open it back up, it remembers what page I was on. With kids and physical books, if I don't have the bookmark immediately in place and I close the book, I've lost my page. Also, I have 2 bookshelves, huge, filled with books. I need a third. I really do. Well, we have a third, but it's a half bookshelf and it's for my husband's books and it's overflowing as well. So technically we need 3 of the tall bookshelves and the half bookshelf as well, because we have books that are standing up and laying down and stacked. So I need more bookshelf space. The problem with that is I have no more house space. So we don't want to purchase more bookshelves until we potentially move, because it would just be easier, we think. I don't know. We've never done this before, so let's figure it out together, right? But I do have the ACOTAR books as physical books. And once next year, once my son's in preschool for 5 days a week, that'll be great. I can read my physical books because that's what I want to do. For my TBR pile that I have over there, I want to read the physical books that I have. If I don't like the book, I'm willing to sell it. I used to work in a bookstore, and I am notorious for buying a book just because it's pretty or just because you hear the hype on it, which is why I've got ACOTAR and Crescent City and Throne of Glass. I've got the complete series for both of those. I have them all, haven't read them because of the hype. I just wanted them. So I have a lot of books that I haven't read that I should read. The mental side, I'm all mental. The mathematical side of my head says buy it on Kindle because it's cheaper. If you like it enough to want to own it, then go and buy the physical book. So once I get through the physical books I already have, then I will start doing that. So I shouldn't buy ACOTAR on my Kindle, but I'm going to buy ACOTAR on my Kindle. I've already made up my mind. So that's what I'm working towards now. That's what I am saving on, is to get ACOTAR on my Kindle so I can enjoy it. And then I can get back to watching my Fantasy Fangirls podcast because I miss them so much. Nicole and Lexi, you'll never watch this, but I miss you. And yeah, that's it. That's my life. My kids are in their final weeks of school. We are enjoying the summer temperatures, just spending as much time as we can outside, trying to absorb all the sunshine and good days because the summer is going to be so short. They already go back in August. We know the date. They've already released the calendar, and so we know how long we have, and I want to make the most out of their summer so that they can enjoy it. We might not get to do a vacation this year, so as much time as we can play outside, getting scraped knees and sunburns and, you know, all the fun, actually all the dangerous stuff. No, I don't want them to get scraped knees and sunburns, but your childhood is filled with scraped knees and sunburns. Like, that's what made a childhood. So I'm okay if they get them. I don't wish that upon my kids, but I want them to have a fun summer, including some boo-boos. But that's all I have. I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna get this edited. Once this video is up, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.